You're gonna have that song in your head earlier.
Good morning. Good morning. Hi, I'm here at Alpha Research Institute. I have two friends with me today. How are you doing today, ladies?
Hello, good morning. We're good. Excited.
Good. Yes.
Excited.
Introduce yourself to everybody.
Okay, so my name is Ugochi, and I am the Director of Clinical Trials Operations here at Alpha Research Institute. And here we have.
I'm Maria, and I am the Senior Research Coordinator here at Alpha Research.
Yes.
So, tell me a little bit about Alpha Research.
Okay, so Alpha Research Institute is a research facility. So we are a site management organization, and we work with sponsors of big pharmaceutical companies. So they pretty much contract us to carry out studies for them. So we do studies on various studies like COVID, rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, the non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, a lot of studies basically.
Yes.
So, why would I only know a little bit about the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
Why should anyone care about participating in a clinical trial?
Okay, so why people should care about participating in clinical trials is because clinical trials actually help to produce the medication that we use right now. Every medication was once a study. And so when we have these diseases, especially I would say the most common right now is cancer, which we still do not have a cure for. I would say one of us actually knows somebody that has suffered from cancer. So participating in clinical trials actually helps to actually get these medications in the market, because during clinical trial studies we get to know, does this medication actually work, how efficient is it, what are the side effects. So I would say if you really care about your loved ones, if you care about yourself, pretty much humans in general, if you can and are eligible, you should participate in a clinical trial. Yes.
So, is it dangerous? I mean, I think when I talked to somebody that you said something about blood donation.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, every study has its risks. For studies, there will be some donation. I wouldn't want to call it a donation per se, but I would call it a specimen collection. So we do have two branches of clinical trial studies. We do have the biospecimen collection, and then we have another aspect which we like to call the big studies. So specimen collection is where we have these companies that want to collect just blood or just saliva or feces, sometimes urine. So they collect it just for a particular medication that is in the process of becoming a good medication for a certain type of disease.
So it actually sounds a little bit safer than somebody just poking you and you poking you. So it sounds like you actually take the sample and then send that off, and they play with the sample.
Exactly.
They play with poop.
Yes.
I had to do my first specimen this week, and so that was like, woo, it was a little different.
And it's really nice though, because some of the studies, when they do have like the feces collection, they get to actually collect at their home sometimes.
Yes.
So it gives them that comfort and privacy to be able to collect that and then bring that to us.
Yes.
So if I wanted to participate, what steps would I take?
Okay. So if you wanted to participate, then you would call, and we would have a pre-screening process. The pre-screening is where we're looking at the inclusion criteria and the exclusion criteria. And so we're basically asking you these questions. Do you have this? What medications do you take? How old are you? Sometimes it can go into what's your blood type? We can ask this kind of questions. Now, if all those questions to the inclusion criteria is a yes, we go into the exclusion criteria. If we have a yes in the exclusion criteria, then unfortunately you will be excluded from the study. But if every answer to the exclusion criteria is a no, then we would ask you to come in. Basically, you will be eligible for the study.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, in your knowledge, what kind of things have happened, or what kind of benefits have been gained by doing this type of sample?
Okay, so first of all, I would say there is compensation. So
Okay.
yes, most of our patients love that there is compensation, so they don't have to drive all the way and just not get anything. So there is compensation, and then for the big studies that we've had, the big studies actually cover up the tests and procedures that the patients will have to do. So it doesn't have to come out of their pocket. It doesn't have to come out of their insurance, and this is actually for their health benefits. So I would say these are the two major, I would say, advantages that our patients actually get.
We did take a look at when we were doing a tour of some beds. And can you tell me about the kind of studies, maybe one of the kind of studies that go along with that?
Okay, so for the beds, I would say that is for our sleep study. So Alpha Research actually has two departments in it. We have the Alpha Research and we have the Alpha Sleep. So the beds are actually for the sleep studies that actually go on. So when we do have a sleep study that has to do with an overnight, then yes, we do have patients stay in there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what about, I'm in need and one of your research studies would benefit me, but I can't get there.
Okay. Want to answer that? Transportation?
So we
You're still recording, but I'm gonna have to edit this part out. See, that's the behind the scenes things I was talking about. I think my camera went just to the one camera. Come on, what are you doing? What's going on? Okay, so this is just gonna be a monologue on you. For some reason, that one is not showing. Go.
for transportation.
Yes.
Okay, for transportation, we do provide some services. We do provide Uber services for the patient. If things come to where we can't provide that, usually one of us will go and pick up the patient and bring him here and then take him back. So we do provide those services for them.
So, what are your favorite parts of this whole thing about everything that y'all do here and about what Camera's here?
Me personally, I'm a people person. So I get to know different personalities. I love to meet the children that come along with the parents. That's my specialty, and my favorite is the children. So
I did see the little play area.
yeah, we have a little play area there.
That.
We try to make it as comfortable. Parents sometimes don't have a sitter to come in.
That's
So
amazing.
we put that little play area, and then one of us will sit there with them, so that way parent can go ahead and take care of what they need to take care of. So, we're people. We love people, and so we look forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go back this way. So, and it's a monologue. So as a director. Tell me some of the things that you're over. I saw all the different offices. I
Yeah.
saw the different, where all the, records and stuff like that.
So I would say I'm basically over everything. So when it comes to patient recruitment, we do have our outstanding marketing team, and then we also have our coordinators that pull out patients from our doctor's EMR. So when these patients have been screened and they have been scheduled, I'm over it to ensure that this scheduling is okay. I'm over it to also ensure that there's been no mistakes, there are no overscheduled, and we do have time allotted to each patient. Also, I'm in charge of getting in the studies and pretty much like sourcing for them and bringing the studies into the company. And also regulation and document, contracts and budgeting, communication with the PIs, because we have various doctors and various clinics in Greater Houston area. So I'm also in charge of that, and also my lovely team of research coordinators. So and pretty much communication also with our boss. So I would say everything study-wise, I oversee it.
Just a second. So as a coordinator, is that correct?
Yes.
Tell me what your role is.
My role is to make sure that we implement each clinic. I go out to site to make sure what the doctor wants, what is expected from us. I go and monitor the settings of how we're going to have things, the do's and don'ts, so that when we do put somebody there that's going to be on base there with them, we have them prepared. And so that's my job, to go out there to make sure that everything's going to match with everything that we have, make sure that we have the comfort for the patient there. And so that's basically what I go and implement the clinics to make sure that we're all crossing our I's, dotting our I's and crossing our T's.
Yeah. And I would add to that and say she also
Get you back on camera.
makes my job easier, basically. So she's like my right-hand man. So basically everything that I do, she also goes in there and steps in to ensure that I do a better job.
So if you wanted to leave us with one last thing, what do you want to leave us about with Alpha Research?
I would say Alpha Research is like, I would call it a home outside of home. I would leave the word saying people should actually not be scared to participate in clinical trials. I know there's a lot out there, there's a lot of information out there, but clinical trials is actually very easy to participate in one. And even before you participate in one, the difference between Alpha Research and other sites is we will tell you everything. We are transparent. And just know that even if you have signed on the dotted lines that you want to participate in a study, you do have every right to also withdraw from the study. You have that right. So please check us out. Call in, find out what studies you think you might be eligible for, and come participate in the study.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
both of you.